Today we're making 3 different types of potato salad. We have a more traditional style, a little bit more of a tangier version with some crispy bacon. Then I've also got a Japanese inspired potato salad. All 3 are incredibly easy to make. This one will be the easiest, then a little bit more advanced. Then there's a few extra steps for this one just to make sure it's absolutely perfect. Let's jump straight in. Now, just before we get started, because I am making 3 different potato salads, I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste my time. So we're just going to cook all of the potatoes, the bacon and the eggs at the same time, then split it into the 3 recipes. It's just going to make it so much easier. And all of the written recipe and instructions are listed in the description. One of the recipes does call for peeled potatoes, so we're just going to peel 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds worth. We're going to be using the peels for something. That's the only reason I'm doing it. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but you'll see why I'm using them. It adds a really great additional touch. With all the potatoes, you can add them into a large pot. Then we're going to fill this up with cold water, enough to cover them by about 1 inch. Once all filled up, place it onto your stovetop, whack this onto a high heat. This thing decides to turn on. Season with a little bit of salt. Then just bring these up to a boil. Now with our bacon, this is 200 grams worth. Just place it onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. It's okay to stack them a little bit. Let's then take this over to the oven. And the oven's set at 190 degrees Celsius or 375 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to cook this for 12 to 15 minutes or until cooked to your liking. Now for the eggs, place a saucepan of water onto your stovetop and put this over a high heat, bringing it up to a boil. With our water now boiling, we can drop in 4 eggs. Just be careful so they don't break. We're going to cook these for about 12 minutes for a hard boil. Going back to our potatoes, the water is now at a boil. Just going to cook these for about 15 to 16 minutes until they're fork tender. With the eggs now cooked, just carefully scoop them out of that hot water, and we're just going to place them into ice cold water to shock them and stop the cooking. Then once cool enough, we just start cracking them and peel all of that shell off. Just use that water as well just to remove any little bits that might be stuck. Then just place them into a bowl. Also, don't worry if you break up the egg a little bit, it's gonna get broken up anyway, so it doesn't really matter at all. Once that's done, you have some nice clean peeled eggs. We'll just pop these aside until we're ready to make all of the salads. After 14 minutes on the bacon, it's nice and crispy, it's done to my liking. We can then just put this aside for the time being. Now going back to our potatoes, they're nice and fork tender. Just make sure to go through because some are bigger and smaller than others. Let's then remove these from the stovetop and just drain these through a colander. Once the potatoes are all drained, I do recommend allowing these to cool down so they're cool enough to handle. You can completely cool down and make these ahead of time, even overnight if you wanted to. It is best if they're completely cold. And don't worry, if the peeled ones are still mixed in there, we'll sort that out later on. Now the last thing we're doing is preparing our potato skins. Like I said, this is completely optional, you don't have to do it. Just add a couple of teaspoons of oil over the top of them. Season to taste with a little bit of salt and cracked black pepper. 10 cracks worth. Give these a quick mix around. Place them onto a baking tray lined with parchment paper. Spread them out so they're not sitting on top of one another. Then we'll take these back over to our oven and cook these for about 12 to 15 minutes until they're nice and crispy. Once all that's done, you're left with these nice crispy potatoes. We can then just pop these aside till the very end. Now with our eggs, roughly chop these up. You can mash them by hand, it's up to you. You don't have to chop them if you don't want to, or even use a fork at the end. But what we're doing is mainly focusing on breaking up that white. You can mash through a little bit of the yolk, and we're going to divide this into 2. So 2 of the eggs are going to be used for a recipe, 2 of them are going to be used for another, and one of the recipe doesn't have eggs in it at all. Once the potatoes are cool enough to handle, I've separated the peeled ones from the unpeeled ones, and with the unpeeled, we're just going to slice these in half or into quarters, depending on how you want to use them. Doesn't matter, the choice is all yours for this one. And then with the peeled ones, we're going to leave these whole and just break them up in the bowl when we go to mix everything together. Now for our first salad, we're going to need 1 shallot or shallot, however you want to pronounce it. Take off the tip, slice it in half, peel it. Then what we're going to do is make thin slices across, do the horizontal slice through the center, and then dice this into really small, fine pieces, making sure you trim off any excess flesh from around the root, and all the scraps can be saved for a stock. We're also going to need 2 spring onions or scallions. Thinly slice these the whole way across into small rounds. You can also do it on a slight angle to create a good presentational piece for them. It's up to you how you want to do it. And if you want to soak these in cold water as well, it makes them extremely crisp, but that choice is all yours. Last but not least, we're going to need that bacon that we cooked before. Scrunch it all together and then roughly chop. I'm dicing this into small pieces, making sure there's no large chunks, but you can cut this however you like, leave it in strips or dice it, it's up to you. Now for our dressing, add 2.5 tablespoons of whole grain mustard to a bowl, along with 2.5 tablespoons of white wine vinegar, the chopped up shallot or shallot, 60 milliliters or 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of salt to taste, and of course cracked black pepper, 10 cracks worth. So then give this a whisk, make sure all of those flavors are combined, mainly focusing on that mustard because it can clump up. Then with our potatoes in a bowl, add in 1/4 cup of full fat mayonnaise, 40 grams of sour cream, 1 tablespoon of creamed horseradish, 2/3 of those spring onions, just save a little bit for garnish at the end. Squeeze in the juice of 1/4 of a lemon. Add in 2/3 of that crispy chopped up bacon, saving just a little bit for garnish as well. You can add it all in, choice is all yours. We'll add in our little mustard shallot vinaigrette that we just made before. Add in just a touch more salt, just don't go overboard because we can always adjust later on. And of course, some more cracked black pepper, 10 cracks worth. With that all in, we'll start mixing everything together. Break up that sour cream, the mayonnaise. It's okay to break up the potatoes a little bit, but obviously try not to have mashed potato in here. And also whilst you're mixing this through, once everything is mixed, just give it a taste, adjust the seasoning if necessary. You can also add a little bit more lemon juice as well, if you think that it's needed. And then we can start serving up. Of course, I'm just using these containers for presentation. Just makes it nice and easy for myself, but serve these in bowls. Garnish it, just a little bit more spring onion or scallion, as well as those leftover bacon bits, just for that nice little crispy additional touch. And then right there is potato salad number 1. This one right here is one of my favorites. Now for our second potato salad, we're going to need half of a red onion. Take off the tip, peel it, then make thin slices across, do the horizontal slice, and then dice it into small to medium sized pieces, trimming off any excess flesh. Pretty much the same as we did with the shallot at the beginning. We're then going to need 2 to 3 slices of dill pickles. You can use 1 whole pickle if you'd like to. Stack these up, make thin slices across, cutting them into strips, rotate them 90 degrees, and then dice into small to medium sized pieces. Last but not least, for the knife work on this one, we're going to need 2 grams of flat leaf parsley, 2 grams of chives, and 2 grams of dill. Scrunch these up and then roughly chop, mainly concentrating on breaking up those chives. Make sure there's no long stringy bits. You should have something that looks like this. With the potatoes in the bowl, we're going to add in 1/4 cup of full fat mayonnaise, half a cup of sour cream, 1 tablespoon of American mustard, also known as yellow mustard, 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Then we'll start adding all the chopped stuff in, which is the onion and the chopped up egg. That's only 2 of those eggs, by the way. The parsley, the dill, and the chives, as well as those pickles that are nice and finely diced. Hit it up with a touch of salt, as well as some cracked black pepper, 15 cracks worth. Then just get in there and start mixing everything together. This one right here is probably a more traditional sort of potato salad, especially with the egg. Previous one is one of my favorites, but this one is still fantastic as well, especially with all the fresh herbs that are in there. Just adds a beautiful fragrance and aroma. We can then start serving this one up. Again, just using those containers for presentation. Hit it up, just a little bit of cracked black pepper. Then I like to garnish this with just a little bit of dill. You can also do this with some chopped up parsley. I think dill looks absolutely brilliant. Then right there, we have potato salad number 2. This one's a little bit more traditional and it smells and looks fantastic. Now for the final potato salad, we're going to need 1 cucumber and 1 carrot. Take off both ends of these and then slice them into quarters. Do that lengthways, make sure you get those nice long strips. Stack them all up, then we're going to thinly slice the whole way across, getting those small triangle pieces. Try and make sure they're nice and thin as well, that way they'll just be easier to eat. Also with the cucumber, you can soak it in a little bit of salt to remove some of that moisture, but that choice is all yours. We're then going to need 3 spring onions or scallions, exactly the same as what we did with the first recipe. Stack them up and slice them into thin strips. You can also do it on that slight angle as well for presentation, and you can also add them into ice cold water. Last but not least, we need 2 grams of ginger. Run this along a microplane to create a paste. Make sure you peel it first as well, and hopefully yours isn't as dry as mine, so you get a little bit more moisture in there, but you should have a nice fine paste. With our peeled potatoes, add half of them into a bowl, save the other half. With half of them, I'm just going to smash these up. This is more just a textural thing. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. Half of it's going to be almost mashed potato, and the other half's going to be that rustic potato as well. With that done, add in the remaining chunky potatoes. We'll add in the cucumber and the carrot, the spring onion or scallion, the chopped up egg, that ginger that we grated on a microplane, add in half a cup of QP mayonnaise. Just make sure you scrape all of that in there. 1 teaspoon of hot English mustard, 1 teaspoon of rice wine vinegar, 1 teaspoon of mirin. You can add in a little bit of MSG, which is completely optional, or you can just opt for salt, it's completely fine, as well as some ground white pepper to taste. Let's then get in there and give everything a really good mix through. We can break up some of those chunky potatoes as well. It's actually a good idea to do so. Just have little pieces in there. Obviously don't make it mash like the other parts of potato, but all we're looking to do is just make sure everything is combined, concentrating on all of the mayonnaise and everything that we've added in there, which we can then stack up into our last container or bowl. Make sure to get this nice and high. As for garnishes, I'm using some togarashi. This is just a Japanese pepper mix. This can just be sprinkled over the top. It does have a little bit of heat to it as well, so if you do have this, don't go overboard. And then with those crispy potato skins, utilizing all of the parts of the potato, you can garnish it on the top. With that done, that's our third and final potato salad. This one is a Japanese inspired and it looks incredible. Now with these all done, we can then dig in. All of these are absolutely delicious. They all have a distinct flavor and they're all different from one another. The crispy bacon, tangy potato salad definitely takes the cake for me though. So much flavor going on. I absolutely love this salad as well. Then the Japanese style, you've got those crispy potato pieces on the end, adding that texture with the carrot and the cucumber. So much beautiful flavor going on in there as well. And then with our traditional egg salad as well, with fresh herbs in there, just really bring out all of that extra flavor. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, consider subscribing, it's free, so why not? And leave a comment for the algorithm. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.